I'm still laughing about that.
We're live.
No, we're live. Let's do this!
This is the Boom Real Estate Podcast.
Right here.
The podcast that shows you how to build an amazing business so you can build an amazing life. The Boom Real Estate Podcast starts now.
Starting.
Welcome aboard once again, everybody. This is my bell's a little far away from me today. Welcome, everybody. It's the Boom Real Estate Podcast. Todd is I always try to describe what Todd's doing at the start of each show.
Those are fancy.
He's excited about his socks. He was doing like when you keep the wave going with multiple people.
Yes.
Again, if you got to watch on YouTube really to know what's going on for about half the episodes,
Yes.
about half the show. Anyway, do you feel good?
I do, although I came up with, and I'm going to let somebody create this. And I want royalties.
You're giving away an idea?
Yep.
A great business idea.
This is a great business idea.
For free for someone to do.
So you know the crazy inflatable arm guy? That's like a car shop, right?
Yeah, you invented that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But I do want somebody to come up with a miniature version that you can put on your desk.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a good
And then
idea,
it's just, like how great would that be?
Yeah, that would be fun.
That would make me happy all day long.
And you know that
all
wouldn't
day long.
be
Yeah.
hard to create. You did a little fan and then that's so easy, and why haven't I done it?
You know what I would do with that? I will tell you what I would do with that is I would not run it around the clock in the office. Oh no, that's a
yeah.
waste.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would switch it on when either I need a little pick-me-up or when I'm just having celebration time and
Yes.
life
Oh,
is
yeah.
good.
Yep.
You know how sometimes in your office you're like, oh, it's party time. I don't know what I'm talking about now.
Or
What
when-
if you
or
were
when
a-
people-
That's when I would switch it on.
First there'd be the giant fan noise. The whoosh.
That's
coming
true.
from your-
I'm okay with that though.
Could you have them all like Bluetooth synced or sunk?
Sunken.
Yeah. And you give them out. So like, let's say you're a manager of an office, and you give
Yeah.
every one of your agents when you put on your desk, and then just like throughout the day, if you see somebody's dragging a little bit, you just Bluetooth over, and then like it kicks up. Or if they're falling asleep, it kicks back up.
What if you're like a managing broker and in your office you just switch it on and everybody knows, oh, it's time, and they come out of their offices and you fire up the espresso machine. I don't know what people
Or what
do
if
in
slowly
offices.
over
I
a
don't know what
month, as manager, you do more and more, like you recreate the crazy inflatable arm guy yourself,
Okay.
right? And each day you do a little more, to the point where you can actually put one in your chair and leave for the day, and nobody knows because
They
they
don't
think
even
you're
know.
just doing it.
You're
still.
Ferris Buellering that thing, right? I get it. I get it.
This is huge.
I think we've covered everything we need to cover
Are
today.
we pretty good?
Are we done with that
Everybody feel
idea?
good
Good
about this
episode,
step?
guys. Good episode. A lot of great tips for the managing brokers out there, though. I mean, I think that's pretty good stuff. Welcome to the big show. I'm
Hey.
Terry. He's Todd. He's
Yep.
Christian.
Hello.
She's Megan. We are
Hi.
excited to be with you. We want to hear from you. Email info@boomrealestatepodcast.com. Visit the YouTube so you can see Todd's gesticulations as we start the show. And the 30-day jump start, it's there. The 30-day jump start is ready. It's just waiting.
It's waiting.
It's just waiting.
It's been waiting for at least 30
Waiting.
days.
Boom30.com. Get the free PDF and jumpstart your business in a mere 30 days. Unbelievable stuff. So, welcome aboard, everybody. Excited to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
Are you?
Yeah.
Really?
I am.
Well,
Sorry, I
we're
didn't
happy
mean
to
to
have
interrupt you.
you.
I was just-
We're happy to have you because we don't know how to turn on the mics.
Yeah.
Oh, and because you're a great person.
Oh.
Yes.
And
Secondarily,
and a
though.
dear friend, a
and you
distant
shoot a heck of a free throw.
Oh,
and you do shoot a heck of a free throw. Oh, that
If you
is
had to
good.
shoot 10 free throws right now, Christian, 10 free throws, how many are you making?
That's a great question.
8?
8?
That's
Nice.
pretty good.
I would
Wow,
believe
no.
that.
Pretty
Yeah.
good.
That's strong. Do you have a hoop here?
no, I haven't
Okay.
put one up yet.
We'll go.
Would your neighbors care if we just went and played basketball in there?
Pretty odd.
No.
Let's do it.
No. I think
Okay,
we
so
can-
we'll
During lunch.
All right, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna film all of us shooting 10 free throws, and
Yeah.
let's see how many you can make. Christian says 8.
I'm sure I'll hit 5. But I'm going to say 8.
All right, Megan, what about you?
Ooh. I would say 7 or 8.
7 or 8.
Wow.
I kind of buy that from you, though, Megan.
I held a record for many years. It might still be there at Sullivan High School for highest field goal percentage in general.
field goal.
Really?
Field goal percentage.
Yeah,
Wow.
my whole shooting. I
Were you
didn't
one
shoot
for one?
often
Were you
unless
one
I
for
knew
one
I
from
was
the
going to
field?
nail it. I was just very particular about the shots I took.
Shot selection
which
is a
to
key
me
part. It's a key
made
part.
sense.
You want to have good shots.
So-
All right. I feel like I could do. I'm gonna say 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 60%. What about you?
I'm going to assume the driveway's going to have a little bit of a slant
Yeah,
to it.
sure.
And
That's
that's
gonna
going to
help
bring
me,
my
though.
game down just a
You're already
little
doing
bit.
calculations.
Yeah. So
I'm also assuming the rim is loose, and that's going to help me a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be a loose rim. You'll also like the weather. I checked the weather. It's pretty nice out.
It's
The
humid, though.
barometer
Humid.
is.
What's the
There's a
barometric
lot of
the
wind.
barometric
Yeah.
pressure is not where I like it for my free throws.
It's rising.
Is it rising or falling?
Falling.
Yes.
The barometric pressure is rising. The
humidity's
shots are
gonna call
falling.
that. Yeah, that's right.
All right, so how many out of 10?
I will say I'd say 6.
6 out of 10.
Which is
Wow.
sad. I should shoot better.
I'm
than that.
nervous that I've overshot.
Christian
with my
and Megan
7
said
now.
8. Todd and I say
I said 7,
6.
8.
Do you know
I'm
in,
gonna- yeah,
in
we're-
high
we got this.
school?
We're
In
gonna
high school, my
do
high school coach he told me he nicknamed me 3-foot Ferris because I wasn't allowed to shoot outside of 3 feet. Not a good shooter.
And it's that kind of coaches across the country instilling positivity
Lifting us
and
up.
confidence
Yes.
into our youth. I appreciate that conversation. That's good.
3-foot Ferris.
All right, so today we're talking about CRMs, which Megan's going to tell us in a minute that it's client or customer relationship manager. It's a key piece of your business, so this episode is cleverly titled. I'm kind of proud of this title. I didn't come up with it, but I'm proud of it. It's BYO CRM. That's kind of fun. BYO
awesome.
CRM
Yeah.
ASAP. Hoots to producer Christian, who I think came up with that acronym situation. But CRMs, they're super important. Let's talk about them today.
Let's talk about CRMs.
Wow.
So here's kind of what I the reason why I wanted to chat about this is I was having a talk with a guy that's been in the business for 3 or 4 years. And I was just talking about how he keeps his business running and what he does and all that stuff. And he had never heard of a CRM.
What?
And he had been in
Did you say
formal
3
training.
or 4 years
Yeah.
in the business?
And
Doesn't
never heard
know
of a
what a
CRM. He didn't have any follow-up systems with any of his peeps.
Obviously, big fan of the Boom Real Estate podcast. This guy.
Huge fan of our show. So it was just one of those things that I think I take it for granted that we have come up in a more formal structure with better, really top-notch training.
Yeah.
And so we know about these things. And I just assumed because of that, everybody knew about them. And I've realized they don't. So I figured maybe now is the time for people to understand not only what a CRM is and why, but why it's important and why they need to have it. And so for those that are out there, we're going to break it all down for you today, and we're going to let you know why, if you are not rocking a CRM, why you need the BYO your CRM today.
Yes.
ASAP.
That's a little intense,
Yeah, it was
Christian. I don't
probably
know.
had the wrong
This is
sound
serious
effect.
No,
stuff.
that's perfect.
No,
That
that's
was perfect.
good.
Todd
This
liked
is
it? I
important.
didn't
You
like
seem
it.
really passionate about it, so
Thank
I
you.
was
I
trying
liked
to
it.
emphasize it.
That was good.
All right. So for those that don't know, Megan, break it down. What is a CRM?
Let's just start from the beginning. I will say it took me about a year in my business before I realized what everybody was talking about. Before I Googled CRM to see what the heck everybody was talking about. I knew the name of what our company used, but I didn't know what it was. So what is a CRM? It is a client or customer relationship manager. So you are managing the clients or prospective clients that you have.
Yes. Nope. See you again.
I'm trying to help you out.
No,
That
I'm
was
happy. Emphasize
I
the
like that.
seriousness of that definition. So at its most basic, it houses all your clients and the information for those clients that you deem necessary. So every conversation you've had, what their dog's name is, how many kids they have, when are they looking? They're not. You've got people that aren't looking for 6 months. You need to make notes on that. Are they looking to build? Are they looking to rent?
How far away from the rim should they be before they
Exactly.
shoot?
What is
What's
the
their
barometric
percentage?
pressure?
What's the barometric pressure?
That. It's
What's their
important.
field goal percentage?
What was
Yes.
your nickname
What
on the
was
team
their-
in high school?
Right. That's right.
So that's all the information that you deem necessary put in there for your clients. Also, at its most extreme, what you can do with it, you can also automate the systems in there. So your
Ooh.
communication, your follow-up systems, everything that makes sure your clients are being taken care of and that you might not have time to do, but it can automate it for you because you don't want them to think that you forgot
And
about
that's
them. It can do a lot.
Probably true. I think we don't know every CRM that's out there, but I think a lot of them offer some kind of automation system.
Yeah.
So if yours doesn't have that, then maybe that's something you want to look into.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go, kind of how we're going to do this is 101 practices, 201, 301, 401, just to get in there and learn some
What's
stuff.
the difference
So
between like 101, or say 102 and 201?
102 is like, I feel like it follows from 101. I feel like it's part B.
But like
of
201's more advanced.
201 is next level, right?
Yeah, okay.
So I would say 101 is part A and 102 is part B of the 101 level.
Do you know how long it's been since we've been in college?
Let's not.
Ugh.
Do we have to?
Ugh.
Well, okay, hold on.
We're so old.
Oh gosh, yeah.
We're gonna
You've
die.
almost been out.
Yeah.
This is what I like to do.
Nah, I
You've
don't
almost been out of college longer
you've
than
been.
you were in. Well, definitely longer than you were in school, but before you got to college. Oh, yeah, it's awesome. It's good stuff.
That was
right now.
real depressing.
Yeah, my
All right,
daughter
Todd.
starts college, my middle daughter.
Yeah,
And we've been doing college tours, and you realize how old you are.
yeah.
Yeah.
How different is it?
Because
Different?
I feel like hey, I'm going back to college.
Yeah.
And then I go back, I'm like,
What are all these
little kids.
What are all these middle schoolers doing in college?
It's like a huge play date.
Do you step on campus?
Huge play date.
I envision like Christian just stepping out of the car onto campus, and it's been so long
Yeah.
since he's been there. It's just like BMOC. Like he's stepping out, and he's like,
It's good to be back.
And then all of a sudden, it quickly diminishes as
Yeah.
he sees that everybody's 4 years old.
That's
Have you had the
correct.
experience yet of jumping on the basketball floor and thinking that you still feel like you're, in high school, and then pretty soon you realize your body doesn't match your mind's eye of what you think.
Anytime I try to, because like when you're in high school or college or just a young person, you always, as a dude, you try to jump up and grab the net or the
Right.
rim
Yeah,
or
yeah.
touch the rim or whatever. Like when I try that now,
It's sad.
there is just nothing. There's no response from the body. There's just absolutely.
but
I'm
in-
like, here we go.
Yeah,
Here we
in
go.
your
And the
mind,
body's
though.
like, I'm just chilling, man.
In your
I'm
mind,
not doing
though.
anything. But I'm ready. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I got this. I got this. Yeah.
I have adjusted my game now, so I still play basketball about once a week, and I've adjusted my game
Yeah.
to old man.
To old
Larry
man.
Bird.
Where
old
like
man
Larry
basketball,
Bird,
yes.
you don't jump when you shoot, like just a
just
little
posting
bit,
up for the
just a
Facebook.
little
Set
bit.
shot, just a
like I
set shot.
practice just doing those shots. Like it's pretty sad.
That's
3-foot
oldness.
Todd's turned into
Yeah.
25-foot Todd.
I'm not going down there in the 3-foot area. You get beat up down there. All right, so CRM 101, Todd, break it down. Get us started.
Yeah, so the very basics of CRMs are the like when you're using, and we're talking about how to utilize your CRM. The very basic things you should do are input each and every contact you have with all relative details. So we're talking about their contact information, phone numbers, emails, mailing addresses, all that fun stuff. Who their family members are, if they are married, who their spouse is, any important dates, birthdays are important, anniversaries, all that fun stuff. And then the big thing that I think a lot of people...
Quick question before we get to the big thing. Birthdays, do you have that in your CRM or do you just use Facebook? Because I just cheat and use Facebook. But I realize you're not going to get everybody.
Not everybody's on
Right.
Facebook.
I know. So you guys keep that in your CRMs?
I do.
Yeah, we have a little survey monkey that goes out, or if we're
Yes.
with them, getting to know you. So it's in there. Not everybody fills it
you put-
out, but
right.
we use both. Like Facebook's
Yeah.
synced to our
Yeah.
calendar. But
I
That's
do like
good.
that though, because Facebook, like I'll have some people I don't have, I missed them somehow,
Yeah.
and then Facebook will remind me, and then I'll
Yeah.
pop them into my CRM so that I always remember it. Yeah,
Nice.
But
Back
that's-
to you, Todd.
That's my thing. Every day I get
Back
my
to
little
you, Todd.
notification from Gmail that says, "Hey, these people have a birthday today," and then I shoot them a little text. And now there's these animated
my
emoji
God.
things, and
Oh,
you can
yes.
sing to them as a
Yes.
a unicorn.
what's it called? I don't even know what those are called.
Bitmo? No,
No.
Animojis,
Animojis?
something.
Yeah, I think
I forget. I'm
We'll
trying
link
pull
to it in the
up.
show notes,
Yeah.
though. I know
Emoji.
that.
Animoji, is that what it is?
Emoji.
Yeah,
Todd, like,
it's the best thing ever.
he just is really
He's
all
really
about
I
into
this.
also came up with that.
The Animoji?
He
I
did.
did.
He invented it.
Well, to truth be told, I came up with the idea, and then I researched it, and somebody had come up with it before me. So technically, somebody else came up with it first, but I came up with it without knowing that somebody else had come up with it. I'm the smartest man alive.
So what you're saying is somebody had the idea and executed it and created it.
They hadn't executed it yet.
You had the idea. Same thing, basically.
I had, yeah.
That's not the same
I should
thing.
get royalties.
You should get nothing.
I came up, and it was after a Disney trip, and I said, think if you came up with this thing where you could do a text and it turns your face into a cartoon. And then I was like, think about the licensing opportunities, because then you can go to Disney and be like, you can now like sell your rights to be.
It could be
know,
Belle the Princess or whatever.
Yeah, that's who I was gonna go with, Belle the Princess.
Who are you gonna go with?
Because
I know you were-
but
you-
but
That's
Iron
not
Man's
Disney.
not Disney.
You just
That's
blew
why
it.
I walked back on that one. Anyways, CRM 101. So make sure that you have the one thing that a lot of people forget to put into their 101 stuff is notes. Like, and these are just talking about, if you had a conversation with them and they said that they grew up up in Pennsylvania, then they went to some Dutch school in Switzerland,
good to know.
which would be weird. Make sure you put that down. All right, you got to have these types of things so that you have better recall the next time you see him. You're like, hey, I remember you went to that Dutch school, and yeah.
Oh, you forgot now. You forgot your
It wasn't in
example
my
while you're
CRM.
talking because
It wasn't in my
That's why
CRM.
you got to get it in your CRM.
Yeah, that's right.
Where was that Dutch school in?
Did you say Switzerland? I think he said Switzerland, right?
And then lastly, CRM 101 is just basic categorization. So you should be labeling all your contacts as we do. Like, so we have VIPs, level 1s, level 2s, if they're in a BNI group or if they're in your philanthropic thing, if they're in the choir that you're in, you should have all those things labeled just so that you can easily recall and pull up those groups. So that's 101.
Nice. Let's go to 201. Next level. Megan, you are
It's
so
time.
next level.
Yes, you
Do it.
graduated to CRM 201.
Yes.
Here you are. So this is it's more in depth of what Todd just talked about, which you're going to take the categories and you're just going to dive in a little deeper. So you're going to have like buyers, you're going to label people a buyer, seller, hot prospect. What else would be good? Long-term prospect. And by doing that, let's say in your schedule, you have a time where you're really prospecting, you're lead genning one day. You can go to your CRM and you can click on your hot prospects and you can make sure you touch base with everybody. Then you've got your long-term. Okay, who do I need to layer today? But it houses it so it's all organized instead of just being like, now who do I need to talk to? Or, whatever. So get those labels on there and make sure that all these people have details to them. Not just what category they're in is where you met them or, the notes about them, but where are they in the business side of things? So how are you going to work with them moving forward?
Nice.
So do that, and then use some of the standard activity plans that they have in these systems. So top producer, we have one through our brokerage right now that's really great, but they usually have a standard activity plan, a drip campaign. Like let's say it's a new buyer, you click on new buyer and it starts communicating behind the scenes for you with new buyer communication. So make sure you're using those plans. If they don't have plans, you can set them up. So take a couple hours and set a few plans up, and then it's working while you're out doing something else.
That's 201. That is
Right?
next level.
Next level.
Boom. There's no way we can go to a 301
No,
level. There's
there's
no
nothing
way,
else,
right?
right?
Touche, Terry.
Oh, really?
Touche.
No.
Tushy.
You have a 301 level, Todd?
I do have a 301
Bring it
level.
on. Let's see it.
All right, so in 301 now, we're taking those same activity plans that are kind of automated or the basic stuff that the CRM offers you, but now we're going to customize them. And again, this is probably offered through most of the CRMs, but we can't say it for all of them. The ones that we've used in the past have had this opportunity or this option for you where basically you can go in and you can say, okay, great, I like what you did, top producer, with your activity plan,
Right.
but I'm going to customize it a little bit so it has more of my feel and more of my style. So maybe I'm going to change the emails. Maybe I'm going to change the text messages that go out. And by the way, that's also 301 is if your CRM can make things automated for you, then take full advantage of that. Because the more follow-up that you can do without having to constantly like jump in and be like, what was I supposed to do today?
Yep.
The better off you're going to be, especially as you grow your sphere to the point where you just can't handle remembering every person that you're supposed to contact that day. So you want really good automation with emails, texts, autoresponders, and also don't forget about like there are going to be certain times you got to make phone calls. So can your CRM remind you to make those phone
That's
calls?
good.
That's an important part
good.
as well.
Let me ask you something about the custom activity plans. Just put you guys on the spot a little bit. For someone who is like saying, "Hey, this is a great idea." What are like one or two activity plans you would say, "Hey, start with an activity plan for this kind of person." Could be like a seller or a first-time buyer or whatever. Like, what are a couple of thoughts around create a custom plan for this client?
I think first-time buyers are a really good one to start with. Something where you just have a basic, like you just met with somebody and they're going to start the process. And so you're going to have an automated email drip, basically, that you're going to do. So you're going to create this custom plan that shoots them an email and says, hey, first step is to get a pre-approval. And it's an email about why a pre-approval is important and where they should do it. Next step, you're going to want to go out and, research homes online. And here's some places that you can do it.
Right.
So and I think that if you continue to do that, but then, so you hit them pretty heavy up front because you just had that meeting with them. So your follow-ups are next day, 3 days later, 5 days, 7, and it's pretty heavy up front, but then it falls off and it's more like maybe once every couple weeks. And maybe eventually once a month if they become kind of a colder prospect.
Right.
But that way, when you know that they're excited and you've already talked to them, you can be really on top of it with them, or at least they think you are by sending them all these emails up front and they don't forget about you.
Nice. So first-time buyer is a good one. Yeah. I like that.
I would agree. I would definitely say you need one for prospective clients. So prospective sellers, prospective buyers, to kind of have that drip campaign so they don't find somebody else, or you're always there. And those could be kind of a quieter campaign. Todd, the first time buyer, what he was saying, that's important because it's reiterating and supporting all the stuff you're telling them, so nothing falls through the cracks. But those prospective people on both sides, you don't want to lose those clients, and it's easy for you to get busy in your pended business and forget about these prospects. So I think those are super important, and just basic things to stay in touch about the buying process. Give them some information every couple weeks with your name in their inbox type of thing.
I think if you were at like the 5 basic ones are going to be your hot buyers, your hot sellers. So there's going to be a lot more. It's going to be heavy up front and then slow down over time. And then you're going to have the long-term buyers, long-term sellers. Those are the people that meet with you and they're like, hey, we're not going to buy for another couple of years, but just kind of wanted to get an idea of the process. So those don't have to be as heavy up front. And then you got your buyer-seller combo or the seller-buyer combo. Somebody that's going to sell them buy, because that activity plan is going to be a little bit different for them. Because they need to know about some different intricacies that go on with selling.
That's good. And you think about like some of those fringe people like that are maybe the longer term, or they're not as hot leads. If you're doing nothing, you have a very little chance of getting them. But if you can even passively automate following up and staying in front of them, and you convert them, then those are closings that you never are going to get otherwise. So that's a key. That's a key point. Good job. Okay, what else on the 301, Todd?
So last thing is just going this next step with your copious notes, or with your notes. So the next step would be to really get detailed with your notes. Now this sometimes the way that some agents do it is they'll like copy and paste, or if the CRM allows, you'll be able to track emails, and so that way everything is in that person's folder. All the email correspondences you've ever had with that person are there, so that you can go back and research all the history that you have without having to go to your email provider and try to dig through the weeds.
Nice. Okay, good stuff. So that is the 301 level, those custom CRM activity plans, and copious notes now. Saving those emails and notes. All right, Megan, there's a 401 level.
There is. Can you believe it? It's crazy. Yeah, 401, guys. It's the next level.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we are there, 401. And this one's pretty easy. Get an assistant to do all of this for you.
Oh, nice.
It is that simple. 401 means
that's
you
your
don't
solution.
Do it. It is it. Delegate.
Yes.
Delegate.
That's really true, though, because like when we think about, custom plans and taking copious notes and bringing all the emails in, like that just sounds like a lot of work, and so that's why we're big on delegation.
How nice is it that you get a new lead and you just send it to your assistant and you say, hey, put Todd Johnson in this hot prospect.
Put him right in there.
I used to play basketball with a guy named Todd Johnson.
You did?
No.
Did someone say Todd Johnson?
There he is.
Hey, Todd, what do you need me to do for you, buddy? Hey, brother.
Hey, brother. That's awesome. All right, good to talk to you, brother.
Yeah, good to talk to you, brother. What do you need me to do? Todd Johnson here.
That's a good character. It's a good one. Okay.
So most of our personalities, we're the rainmakers. We need to be out with people, and the CRM stuff really, the reason we don't have them and use them a lot of times, we just either don't understand them or we don't want to deal with it. We don't want to enter it all in the system and check the system. So have somebody take care of that. Have somebody do it for you. It feels so good to be able to take all that information, give it to somebody, and then it's in there when you need it. It's amazing. Worth it.
Todd, best CRM. There's a million out there.
Thanks for asking, Terry. Whichever one you'll use. Hey! That's the old cliche, and it's true. Whichever one you'll use. That being said, there are some that are better than others.
Nice. That is the least answer you've ever
given. Send us a message and we'll dive deep.
We will
into
tell you
that
we have used, our team has used Top Producer for the last 3 years, something like that. And then our brokerage is now funding a CRM. So we are switching over to Exact Contact. And this literally happened within the last month. So we can't vet them. I mean, we know the basics up front and they seem like they're pretty solid. But so those are the two that we have most use, but there's Realty Juggler and a bunch of other ones out there.
That is 2 shout outs to 2 companies, both for free, neither one sponsoring the podcast. We give you both of those for free.
If we did like one of our episodes, we just talk about all the sponsors that are not sponsoring us.
what if one episode was just only brought to you by, and then we do all these live reads of all these sponsors about their commercials. I thought about this the other day. I was like, let's say you start a podcast, and it's like you're just a pop culture podcast, but you're like, you just make up, you say, this show is brought to you by Blue Apron, and you go into a whole Blue Apron read or something, even though they have not at all like sponsored your podcast, just to legitimize it. All right, so
next time we're doing that. But we'll just throw in not brought to you by.
Not the show not brought to you by. You just like really quickly sneak it in
What's
there.
this cease and desist letter? What is that?
That's weird.
Cease and desist.
All right, so if you don't have a CRM, get a CRM and start using it. If you've got one, figure out how to use it better. It's going to be a game changer for you and your business, and you can thank us later.
Yes.
Email us info@boomrealestatepodcast.com. Visit the YouTube and get the 30-day jump start. There's going to be some CRM work for you to do as a part of the jump start, so don't be afraid of it. And we will see you next time on the Boom Real Estate Podcast. And hey, Christian, Megan, you owe us 8 free throws out of 10.
We have this.
Let's go shoot them.
Join us. Not brought to you by Nike. Just do it.